Hello everybody. Welcome to SolidWorks Modeling Learning Assignment 4. Here we're going to be creating detailed drawings given one of the assembly files that we've already created. So before we do anything, I'm going to go into my folder that has all of my Modeling Learning Assignment files, and I'm going to quickly create a folder. Call it MLA3. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take MLA3 everything and I'm going to move it into that folder. Now, if you already have it all in a folder, that's great. I'm not going to be copying this folder. Anytime you try to recreate what's already been made, it's always a good idea to create a new folder. So here for me, I now have all of these new files. I'm going to change the name of, and it's going to cause some problems when I do it, and that's okay. I'll have to go back and re-reference some files. This is one reason why you never want to recreate your, you know what, that's a terrible idea. I don't want to recreate my file names. I shouldn't have done that. When you recreate file names, basically what happens is it loses its ability to find those files. So I'm stuck with all of these part files called MLA3. I'm going to delete out this and this because those were generated last drawing, but I'm basically going to keep these part files again. Now I have a few things that I'm going to have to do with these files that I have. Now before I can do that, let's talk quickly about I'm going to go ahead and open up the top shelf. I don't know where there's a copy of that. I'm just opening up a part file that's from MLA3. We're going to have to do a little bit of modifications to these files in order to get them ready to put into a nice detailed drawing. Now, all of these part files have associated characteristics with them. We really haven't dealt with those characteristics yet, but that is something. Here, property managers, this is something where everything has properties, yes, but that's actually true for all of this. So here, there's a material not specified. There are properties associated with this part that get saved with the part that we really haven't seen. So if I go into custom properties, this is going to pop up for me, okay? I spent a little bit of time and I created a file, and I'm using this file now. So I'm going to be sharing this with you. It has some useful information here. I can apply a part number, I can put a part description, I can apply a material to this. I can just pick a material, and then that will adjust the weight of this in mass, and then I can specify whether there's a custom part or whether this is something that could be purchased from somewhere else. So this is all something that you can use, and what I've done is I've gone on a canvas and I have put this file on canvas. This file is called Done Part Properties. I'm going to show you how to install it on your computer. So in order for this to show up, let's see, this is looking at this location right here, which is that, and then I put this file there. You're going to have to put this file into a very specific location. So to do that, you have to go up to your Tools menu, go all the way down to Options. You could just, I guess, copy that file location, but it's whatever. So now I'm in Tools, Options, I'm going to go down to File Locations, and I'm going to hit this drop-down menu and go down to Custom Property Files. Okay. Now, this is really important because if you put it for the wrong file location, it won't help you at all. So here, if I go down to Property Files, I'm going to hit Edit All, and you see down here in Custom Property Files, this is the file location that is saved for my computer for the custom property files. Now, if this is not a good link, I'll find out very soon. So I'm going to go into a window here. First, I'm actually going to open a new window, so I'll right click on my desktop, open new window, so that I have two windows open, one of them with my part properties file. And then I'm going to take this location, hit Control C to copy it, go back to my folder, go up here to location and hit Control V to paste, hit enter, and this will take me to the folder that it's calling for my custom property files. Okay, and now you'll notice I have my custom property file. It's way down here. There it is. Okay, so what you will need to do is you will need to copy that into this folder that's located here. If you do not have access to the folder that is located here, I would just set this to your desktop. Change this file location, so here I could just say this is desktop and then go in and drop that file on my desktop. But you will need to make sure that this file here called Done Part Properties has been copied into whatever file location is used for your custom property files. Okay, so I'll hit save. Again, that was from the Edit All. And then I'll hit OK. Notice it shows up there. So now when I open this, this will open up your Done Part Properties. If it opens up something else, you can click here and go find a different file. So this will allow you to switch between different properties files. So we're going to, once you've done that, once you've made that edit in SolidWorks, and once you have that file located here, we're going to be using this for pretty much all of SolidWorks now. Now what does this do? It sets up a set of properties. So if I go up into File, Properties, you have been changing the author in the drawing, but here what we're doing now is you're going to go up into your properties and you're going to, you can, oh here it doesn't, oh yeah I guess, you can't, it's still not going to do that, huh? Never mind. You go into your properties over here and we're going to put properties and apply it to this drawing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call this part number T01, T for standing for top shelf. Part description, this is the top shelf, the shelf assembly. Here material, I'm going to go ahead and set this to, I could make it out of iron. I really want to make this out of wood. Let's see if I can hit save. Yes, it's going to make me save. I have no idea what it's about to bring up. It's going to freeze SolidWorks. Thanks, SolidWorks. Thanks for being a pro. Let's see if I can find wood. Hey, there's a wood. So this one's just going to be it's a pine wood. I'll go ahead and hit apply. And then close. And you'll notice that the material updates here. You can also go over here and select a material, edit material, choose material. But we're going to want to make sure that we select a material for all of this. Now this even brings in nice, very pretty material, so it kind of looks like the kind of material you're working with. I like that too. Thanks SolidWorks. Just makes it a little prettier. And this will update now in the assembly file. So I'm going to go back to my properties. I'm going to fill out all of this. Here, the mass is already filled out. This board is going to be about 3.3 pounds. Has a volume of 269 cubic inches. This is a custom part, so it won't have any manufacturing info. Basically, I'm going to have to cut this myself. Although we could say that this is cut out of a 2x6, I believe, or I don't remember, a 1 by 10 or I don't know. If I knew what that information was, I should probably pop that up. 3 foot long, 10 inches wide. And then I think I extruded it like 3/4 of an inch. Thank you for asking me to save constantly. But here, you know, it wants me to get out of here before I edit any of the properties. So this was just cut by a 36-inch cut from a 1 by 10. Okay, so that is my part information. I'll go ahead and hit apply, which will save it all, and then I'm done with this part. Now I'm just going to need to go in and open up all of the parts and apply these and just assign some properties to them. So I'm in MLA 4. Okay, so that was my top shelf. I'll just go ahead and hit save quick. And then this will be I'll open up the screw now. Takes a little bit to load. But then since I already put my file here, I'm ready to just start putting in information. Now I'm going to call this T05. That's going to be my part number because this is the 5th part that I have. Here, this is 1, 2, 3. Oh, I guess that's only 4, so I'll call it T04. Part description. This is I don't know, I made it kind of a nail, but it's a 3/16 inch by 2.5 inch screw. Okay. I'll select a material here. This is just going to be plain carbon steel. Hit yes. And then this is not a custom part. This is a part that we could just buy. And so it's a 3/16 inch by 2.5 inch coarse thread construction screw. Okay, so the more information you can put here, this would make it easy for you to find. If I put this information into Google right now, I could find exactly this part number. So I'll show you, just for sake of proving that I'm always right. I'm just going to paste that directly into Google. And this is the part that I can buy. Okay, 3/16 by wood screw. You can buy the wood screw directly from Home Depot or something. Okay. So, nice. Now that I've got that, I'll hit apply. And I'm done with this piece now. So I'll go ahead and open up the next part. I'll make my bracket be the second part at T02. T02, and this is a bracket to support the top shelf. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and here I'm going to edit material. It'll ask me to save again. I'm going to go pick wood again. I'll pick pine. And apply. Close. We'll say this is a custom part because it will need to be machined, but this is manufacturer info. It's cut from a 2x6. And I'll just leave it that. One last part to make. I don't know why I'm opening up Google. I need to close. Just keep starting opening everything. Why not? Alright, so I got my 4 parts open now. This one's going to be TO3. Part description, this is a back panel for the shelf assembly. You could also put other things in your description, such as if you want to describe the dimensions of it, if you wanted to describe purpose of it. So here I could just say that it's a 2x10 pine panel with screw holes. That would be another part description that I could do. You'll notice that here this is going to weigh about less than a pound, about 67 cubic inches. I'm going to say this is a custom part just because it would have to be machined, and then I will say this is cut from a 2x10. I'll hit apply, and now I'm going to go in here and open up my assembly again. This is mostly just to make sure, because I did change my part numbers into my new ones. This may recognize the parts that are in the folder, but it also may not. I may have to go in and assign new part locations to each of these. But you'll notice that since it's in the same folder, it actually just took the parts that I had. So this is good. I don't have to make any changes here. It's already got my screws. It's already got the wood pieces that are there. I'm just going to go ahead and hit save quick. It's going to ask me to save all of them. I'm going to hit yes. And then I'm going to create a new drawing. So, new drawing. Okay, I will browse and go find, again, this file is also located on the canvas, so all of the template files that I give you here, or that I'm using in class, this one's called Dona Ink Sheet Format. When you open it up, it looks like that. So I am going to start with a shelf assembly. We'll double click that over here. Put one down here. And then I'll put down a projected view. And then I'll put down another projected view. And then I'll put down another projected view. Now I actually don't like this projected view. I'm going to pick this one down here. And then I'll hit escape. I'll click on this, drag it up. As you know, I like taking this one and making it shaded. Here, now it actually shades it with the material properties that were applied, which is kind of cool. Makes it look a little nicer. I'm not going to do hidden lines on these because it kind of makes them a mess, but you could change the orientation here. This right here is called the base view. If I hit delete, it shows me this is called a named view. A named view is your model view. These here up here are called projected views. So if I click up here and hit delete, you'll notice that this is called a projected view. Okay, those are these. If I needed to create more projected views from this, like say you forgot to put this down, you would click on this model, hit projected view, and then you could get all of your projected views again. Okay, so that's kind of something to keep in mind. Now on your first page of your SolidWorks drawings, this is going to be just an overview that shows the general assembly. And here, I'm going to type the description. So the page is called General Assembly. For the description, I'm going to call this Full Shelf Assembly. You'll notice that the scale is already updated. Yes, this is still in inches. I'm going to go ahead and hit yes. In order to finish this out, I'm going to go to my properties. Whoa. Hit CJS and hit OK. And so now that will update down there. And I've got the date that I'm drawing this at down here that auto updates as well. So this is a good first page, but it needs one more thing. So I'm going to go into my Annotation tab right here, and I'm going to click on Smart Dimension. Now this works very similar to AutoCAD. I'm just going to click a line and I'm going to dimension it. Here on this page, I only want to show the overall dimensions of this part. So I want to show the width of it, which is 36 inches. And then I want to show the height of it. So I'm going to select this line and then this line down here. And this will show me 7.42 inches. Click out of Smart Dimension. Now I always think it's good practice to put some notes in here. Before I do that, you'll notice I can grab these views and move it. The dimensions actually move with the views, which is really, really nice. I love that about SolidWorks. SolidWorks was made to create drawings. But before I leave this page, I'm going to create a note. This drawing set consists of part details and a bill of materials. Okay. And I'll hit escape so that it'll put this one down. So just a little bit of information. And now what I'll do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to create a new sheet. So I'll click down here on the Add Sheet button. Since we set this up with the Don't Engineering sheet format, every new sheet will automatically have that sheet format, which is really nice. You'll also notice that the sheet number has already updated too. That's just because I set that when I built this template. It's already got the drawn by, it's already got the scale, already got inches. Everything is ready for me to go. So I'll go back into View Layout. Now an easy way to do this is just to click Standard 3 View, go in and we'll do the top shelf. I'll double click it and it'll just automatically populate Standard 3 shelf. Now this again is going to be your base view. Okay, so you'll notice that this is drawing view 5, but it is a base view, which is why you have the ability to shift these different views. Here I'm actually going to shift this to being the top, which will cause the other two to change. I don't mind. And then I'll just orient this nicely. So base view is another standard 3 view. It automatically populates it with all of these items already. This is kind of small, but I mean it is already at a scale of 1 to 8, so I don't really have that much to complain about. What I will want to do is I'm going to want to dimension where these screw holes are. Okay, so I'm going to go to my Annotation tab. I'm going to do a Smart Dimension, zoom in, select the circle, and it will come out as 0.19 inches. Nice. Now I'm still doing Smart Dimension. This is going to allow me to nicely dimension this drawing. I'm going to click on this edge, and I'm going to zoom in here and click on this crosshairs. And that'll give me the distance between them. So there's 9.88 inches. And then I will click this crosshair, zoom over here, click this crosshair, and that will give me the distance between these two. I'm going to try to nicely position these, whatever, so that they align a little bit. I can deal with that later. Now I need to do the heights, and I will be done with this. So I will select this line, go in, select this crosshair. This gives me the, whoa, selected the wrong line of the crosshair apparently. Hit escape. I will select this horizontal piece of the crosshair. There we go. So that'll tell me that this is a distance of 1.5 inches. Then I will zoom back in, select the horizontal portion of this crosshair, go down here and select the horizontal portion of this crosshair, and that'll give me the distance between these two. And I'll move it out here so that it's slightly more readable. There we go. So now I just have general dimensions of this piece. Lastly, I'm going to actually dimension this here and dimension this piece here. And this is a fully dimensioned top panel, but it is missing one thing. I need to put down a balloon. What does a balloon do? Well, it gives me a part number. Okay, and you can set it to a lot of different things. Here, I'm going to go to my custom properties. Oh, it's not going to show me that, is it? Ah, never mind. Ah, dang. Dang. Oh, never mind. Huh. It's supposed to be able to give me the ability to... Oh, there it is. Okay, so let me go this again. I put down a balloon, but when I put down this balloon, I'm going to click on this now. What I want it to give me is, I want the balloon text to be a custom property. So I'll go into custom property, I'll hit link to property, and I'm going to click model. Here, I can go down to my property names and go find my part number. Okay, when I hit OK, now you'll notice this is now listed as TO1. Okay, that's important because if I go back to sheet 1, I am going to need to label all of my pieces in this assembly. So I'm going to go into balloon. Before I even put down a balloon, I'm going to make sure to, well, I guess I'll have to edit these later, but I'm going to select this one. 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 And then I will zoom in on that hole. Select the very center here. And do that, okay? And you'll notice it did give me part numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. That does work, but if we want to use our format, we have to go in, click on these. Again, custom properties, pick the model view, pick the part number. Whoa. That's interesting. Oh, yeah. No, this is trying to find the actual part numbers. I should have switched the BOM part number. I should have made that be it. Yeah. If I do that though, it's kind of gross because it's giant. But, oh well. Go open a part now. There we go. So here, custom properties, part number. I guess that's a little simpler. Here, Custom properties. Part now. Probably should have done this before I put down any of the balloons. I will do that next time. There we go. So now all of my parts have been labeled. I have my general dimensions. This is just going to generally show if I want more information on TO2, then I will go to the page with the part that has TO2 on it. So here this one has TO1 on it. If I want to know more information about TO1, which is this part here, I will just go to this page and it will tell me how to build it. Okay. And now I'm going to give some names, and we're basically just going to do this for all of our drawings now. So this will be top shelf, top shelf of the shelf assembly, and that's it. We'll do this again. I'll click yes, build a new sheet. Here I'll once again do the standard 3 view. I will use the bracket. I'm going to change the base view of this too. I built this to be built, not to display nicely here. So I'll shift this to a left view, which is fine. And I'll hit OK. Now actually what I am going to do quickly here on this one, because it's kind of a smaller part, this piece needs to show the hidden lines. And when you do that, it shows the locations of where everything is relative to each other. That can be really helpful for positioning, and certainly here for, for showing the depth. Because all of those lines are now dimensionable. So I'll go back into Annotation, Smart Dimension, and I will do bottom panel here up to horizontal crosshair. Should have hit Smart Dimension, huh? It's 2.67. Horizontal crosshair, horizontal crosshair. It's 2 inches. And then vertical crosshair to this component. Drag it out a little bit so it's visible. It's 0.38 inches. This to the center line. Somebody wants to talk to me. That is not going to give me my center line. So I will not dimension it in this view. I will dimension this angle. So I'll click on this line, click on this right here, and that is 45 degrees. And I will showcase this distance, which is 0.75. Okay. Over here, this will nicely show the width of that piece at 1.25 inches. Oh, I forgot to dimension the width on that last piece. Up here, oh, I guess I can dimension the, nope, I don't want that. I want fully top to bottom here, and then I want this distance here. I'm going to dimension to the center of this hole over here, so click this line, click this vertical line, and then click this vertical line to this vertical line, and there we go. That's now fully dimensioned. I'll hit escape a few times. And now my bracket piece. This is all the details you would need to build this yourself. Other than I need to establish the depths for these holes. I guess that's one last thing. Oh, and I didn't give Oops. Here, SolidWorks likes when you line up dimensions, so we'll do that. Okay, so it shows that that goes down a depth of 1.75 inches. Whereas these go all the way through. One last thing, I need the hole size for these. Oh, accidentally clicked on crosshair instead of the circle. Dimension of 0.19. All right, so that's this piece. I'll edit this drawing name to say bracket. And this is the bracket that supports the top. Shelf. Okay, now you'll notice this is on a scale of 1 to 12. 1 inch here is equal to 12 inches. It's kind of weird that interesting. Oh no, it's 1 to 4. I was gonna say, like, it's a little small. Okay, now we are going to put in our last part. So we'll go to View Layout, Standard 3 View, do the back panel. Double click, it'll automatically populate it with this. There we go. Now once again, with this selected, I'm going to go ahead and go down to set this to a hidden lines visible. That'll just let me see where the screw holes are located so that I can dimension to them. Sometimes you won't want to do this, especially if it makes your drawing too cluttered. This drawing is pretty simple, so you can. The overall dimension, and the side dimension. I'll dimension to the center line of these holes. Here, because it's in the middle of the object, I won't need to dimension and say that it's the middle. I'll just leave that assumed. But I will get these two up. And then dimension the thickness. Okay, so this piece is pretty simple too. Last thing I need is the depth, because again this depth and this depth are equal. I only need to dimension one of them. I'll have to actually hit dimension in order to dimension it, apparently. There we go. Now I am done with my dimensions. We'll go ahead and change the name of the drawing. This one will be the back bracket, or the back panel. This is the back panel of the shelf assembly. Okay, and everything else is already set up. So here we have 3 part numbers. I am not going to be dimensioning the screw. And my reasoning for that is because it is a manufactured part. It is not a custom part. So since it's not a custom part, I'm going to go in here and create a new sheet. I'm just not going to detail it. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a bill of materials. So I'm going to go up to my Annotation tab into Tables and hit Bill of Materials. Okay, so it wants me to specify a drawing view. Oof. I'm going to need to go to my view layout. I'm going to do just a model view of just the assembly. And I'm going to put it here. Okay? You could put it off the page too. I could throw it over there. I don't want to have any projected views, so I'll hit escape. Now when I go into my Annotation tab, like I said, you could have this completely over here. If our bill of materials is really big, the expectation is that you have your model view off of the page where it doesn't show up, and then your bill of materials will take up the whole page. So we could do that. I'll show you how to do that. Here, bill of materials. There are a couple of different items here. I typically like doing indenting because basically it says if there is a part that is a part of an assembly, it will indent it and show it. It'll show them all together. Here we're going to start at 1, increment at 1, and there are just standard details for it. So I'll hit yes, that's how I want my bill of materials to be made. And then here, I'll put it in. Now you'll notice this is kind of weak. This here shows the part number. That is the name of the file. That's not what I want. I want some different stuff. So what I am going to do is, let's see, it's not this one. Insert new part. No, I don't know what that was. I'm just doing stuff now. Nice work, Cal. Yeah, I don't really know what that was. It's funny. I am going to zoom in here quick and double click up here. So give me a title to this, which I like, and I can change that title to be something else. I don't want it to say bill of materials table. I want it to be shelf bill of materials. And then I'll click out of it. Now again, that happens over here. If you click on these double arrows, it will pop it up, or it can pop it down. So if I double click on this again, it'll hide it. But then if I go back over to these double arrows and click them again, it'll pop back up again. SolidWorks is running really slow because I'm doing Streamlabs at the same time. So I'll just double click on that. I'll pop it back up again. Now here, no, I don't want to edit the name of that. Thank you. If I click on this arrow, it will pop out a column here that shows me this is an assembly. These are parts, 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 parts. Okay, so it's kind of interesting. I can pop that back in. I don't actually need to have that. But over here, this is nice because it shows me the quantity of each one of the pieces that I need. Now here, I don't actually want this column to show up. Quite frankly, this column is kind of dumb. I can insert a column, but here I'm going to delete this column because that doesn't help. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a column to the left. It's going to ask me what kind of property do you want. Here, I want this to be my part number. Okay, so it'll specify each of the part numbers. Here, this row, the item number 5, I just accidentally added that one. My bad. I'm going to have to delete that now. I'll delete row. Oops. Okay, and then we can adjust the sizing here to make it a little nicer. So here I will insert column to the left. This is going to be custom property. I'm going to call it part description. Okay, which means that I don't need this description column here at all. So I will delete this. Column. I'll insert column to the right. Here, now we're going to add our mass information. Okay, and this is in pounds, which is kind of a problem because it comes in as mass. I didn't write it into the part description to say pounds, but whatever. I'll probably want to shrink that column down too. Let's keep adding columns to this bill of materials. So here, add column to the right, and I'll have this be custom property, and I'm going to have this be manufacturer info. Okay, so this column needs to be shrunk down, try to fit it inside of this one page. And there we go. Now we have a custom bill of materials that details how many parts we have, what they're made from, mass. I could have picked material in here too. Material probably would be a good idea. So I'm going to shrink down the part now, and I'm going to add a column to the right of this. So insert column right, and this is going to be material. And there we go. I'm going to shrink these down to make it fit on a page now. Keep shrinking it down. There we go. So there's my bill of materials. Like I said, I could drag this over here. You don't have to. I won't. I'm going to change this, make this be called the bill of materials. List of materials used in shelf, and everything else is already there. It's got a scale. It doesn't need a scale, but it has a scale. And I'll hit OK. Now I have very quickly assembled all of my parts. This is a very professional drawing, and the way that I have this set up, somebody could actually build this entire thing given the information that I provided. So that's cool. I'm going to go ahead and save this real quick, and then I am going to plot this. So here it's going to want me to update all of them. Hit yes. And I'll save it in this one as MLA 4. Okay, now here wants me to save all the parts as associated with it, so I did. Oh, I didn't put the bubbles on. I missed a few things. So I'm going to have to fix this real quick. First of all, I didn't give the width here, so I got to dimension this width. Suppose I should do a full job of when I give you these drawing files. And then I forgot to do the part numbers on each of these. So I'll do a balloon. Set this to be, whoa, custom property, set it as the part number. I don't know what I just did there, but I just absolutely messed it up. Oops. Let's try it again. There we go. And I'll do it again here. So I'll go into balloon. I think I should actually be able to change this before custom property. Oh no, I won't be able to do it before because all of those are very specific. screwed everything up again. Hit escape and I just start over. There we go. Now once it's put down, I go back and edit it. Custom properties. Part no. And there we go. Now this is completely done. Okay, so now that it's done, I'll save it one more time. And then I'm going to go ahead and print. I want to print all sheets. I want to print it on our printer there. I'm going to print it to PDF report writer. Okay, so I'll print all sheets to PDF. Gonna have to spool them all. You can do some changes here. Oh, it's trying to only print the sheet, isn't it? Nice work. We'll see if this works. Merge the PDF. Oh, there it is. It's doing all 5 sheets. I have no idea where this file just went. I'm going to need to go find that. I'm going to hope it was put into the folder where the actual file was. But alas, it was not. So I got to go find it. And sometimes I hate Windows. Open file location. And apparently I put it into documents. There we go. So this would be what it is that you put into your